Hi everyone, I wanted to make a video today about something that's been weighing heavily on me since I lost my son Abel. And the reason why I'm making this video is more to spread awareness on this issue and to kind of educate anybody who might end up watching this video. What I'm directly talking about is people's comments when it comes to helping you grieve through the loss of a child, through if you lost a child through stillborn like we did, or miscarriage, or shortly after birth. And what I mean is what people tell you. Sometimes I think some people think that they're being helpful, and when in reality they end up hurting you, or their comments end up coming off as being a bit insensitive. And I guess the reason why I feel like I should talk about this is because it's kind of showed me the lack of acknowledgement for the loss. It's almost as people don't relate a loss like this as a true loss. It's kind of like they expect you to move on fairly quickly, or they might not really expect that from you, but that's what their comments are saying. And like I said, the whole reason why I wanted to make this video was just to educate you on what not to say and how it can be more hurtful than beneficial. I know for me it's now been exactly 4 weeks, and ever since the day we found out that we were losing our son, we started getting these comments, and it was from family members only, specifically my family. And at first it didn't really bother me, but I think the more time has passed and the more I continuously get the same comments, the more it frustrates me and it upsets me. And it's to the point where I've kind of started shutting down from those people because I don't want to hear those comments. So I no longer feel like I can tell them how I truly feel, because I don't want to hear that. So it's also created a lot of anxiety for me to even reach out to other people, because I'm afraid that they're gonna end up saying the same things, and I have a lot of anxiety to even think about going back to work for the same reason that I am afraid of what I'm gonna be told. And because I have to be in a professional setting, I'm afraid that it's just not going to end well. And then I'm going to get really upset. So I have a list of things that you should never say to somebody who's dealing with the loss of a child. And the first one that we got a lot that really, really upsets me and my husband is, you guys are young, you guys can have another baby, or you guys will have another baby. To me, that's like that person is saying my son could be easily replaceable. My son is not replaceable. My son did live. He lived for 5.5 months inside my stomach. I felt him move every day, and he lived for us. He was real. He is real. And he cannot be easily replaced by another child. Yes, we could maybe one day in the future have another baby, but it's not going to be Abel. It's going to be Abel and Jojo's younger sibling. But it's not this baby, and I'm mourning and grieving this baby. So you telling me I could just get pregnant again is not solving how I feel. It's not fixing how I feel. I think that one's the most insensitive one, because it shows me that that person that's saying that to me didn't actually build a bond with my baby. To them, it's not something that was tangible or something that was real, because they didn't bond with that child. And so it's hurtful, because that's my baby. Regardless of you getting to know him or seeing him or hold him or not, that's my baby. Don't talk about my baby like that. It's the mama bear that comes out. The other comment we got a lot was God does things for a reason, and maybe the reasoning was that your child was going to have a physical or mental abnormality. Um, there was nothing wrong with my son. Physically or mentally, he was fine. He was perfect. He was beautiful. And regardless if there was something wrong with him, we would have loved him and we would have made it work. And he would have never felt he would have always felt loved in this family, regardless if there was an issue. And we had discussed that, my husband and I, that around the genetic testing time, what we would do. And we had decided that even if there was like a chromosomal abnormality of some sort, we would go through with the pregnancy, because every child deserves to be loved, and he was our child and we were gonna love him. So you telling me that this is better and it makes our life easier does not make me feel better. It does not make me miss him any less. The other one is your emotions are you're emotional because your hormones are all over the place. Well, yes, there is some truth to that, in the sense that my hormones are a bit imbalanced. I think your hormones don't get back to kind of normal until like 1 to 3 cycles. But that's not to say that I'm sad because of my hormones. My hormones are not making me sad. My hormones are not making me cry. I'm sad because I miss my son, and I cry because I wish he was here. So, it's not my hormones. Don't tell me my hormones. The other one is, I get this one personally a lot, that I am strong. I lost my mom when I was 16, and then I got through that. And so I will get through this one. First of all, every loss is different. So losing my mom is not the same thing as losing my son. If I would have to pick which one's harder, I would say my son. And that's given that I knew my mom my whole life up until I was 16 years old. So I miss my mom every day. I wish things would have been different and turned out different for her. But my son is like a part of me. I felt him inside me. He grew inside me, and there's no greater love than the love for a child. And having to lose a child is the worst possible thing that could happen to a mother. And as much as I love my mom, this is completely different. And who are you to tell me that I'm strong? And I know you're trying to make me feel better, but what is being strong? Is being strong me saving you an uncomfortable feeling by putting up a smile and saying that I'm okay? Because you know deep down, or I know deep down, that I'm not okay, even though I'm smiling. The last one is also bothersome, because I'm constantly getting, you have JoJo to think about. You need to be strong for JoJo and not let her see you emotional or crying and depressed all the time. Yeah, I know I have JoJo. I gave birth to her, and I know that she's there, and I do everything for her every day. I wake up because of her. So it's really idiotic for somebody to think like one day to the next I'm going to forget that I have my firstborn. I don't, and she is my main motivation to get up every day and try not to have it be an emotional one. But with that being said, is it healthy for me to put on a mask and pretend everything's fine when it's not? No, that's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. And all I'm going to end up doing if I do that is one day having a psychotic break that's going to be a lot harder to heal from than if I let myself feel what I'm feeling right now. And the wonderful thing about my relationship with my daughter is we're very open and we talk about everything, and I tell her when I'm feeling a certain way and why I'm feeling, and she knows that she too can have her vulnerable moments and cry when she feels like crying. And I think this will only make us stronger as our mother-daughter relationship. And the one thing my therapist said when I brought this up is that somebody who's going through this, you have to be gentle with yourself. You have to be sensitive to yourself. If you feel like crying, don't feel like you have to be strong and hold it in. Let yourself feel what you're feeling. If you're feeling angry, let yourself feel that and give yourself time to process it, because it's it's normal to feel these things, and you just hiding away under a smile is just gonna make things worse later for you. um so yes, I do have a daughter, and I know that, and I'm trying my best to make every day the best I can, but I'm only human, and I'm not as strong as everybody believes I am, and I have my moments when I need to cry. Um, those are kind of my top ones, the comments that my family members have made to me, and have kind of, I know they didn't mean to be rude or insensitive or hurt my feelings, but they did. And that's why I'm doing this video, is that I'm hoping to educate somebody out there to not say that. And if one of my family members is watching this and you said something like that, I'm not mad at you. I'm just wanting you to be educated on what not to say. The next thing I want to bring up are things that you could say or you could do to try to help somebody who's dealing with what I'm going through. The first thing, which is obvious, is just saying sorry. Don't try to understand what that person's feeling, because truly, I've had several friends who have gone through this, and when they went through it, I had no clue what to say. And you could try to put yourself in their shoes, but you don't really know how they feel until you go through it. Like, you don't know the intensity of the pain it is. Just say sorry, and offer to, if they reach out to you, obviously they feel like they can confide in you. And so listen to them. If they want to just vent with you, listen. And you don't have to say anything, just let them feel the comfort that you're there for them, and that you're listening, and that you're just there to help them through this. I know a lot of people offer, if there's anything you need, just let us know. I think if you are going to extend that invitation out, do it if you really mean it. What's even better is not necessarily if there's anything you need, but offer to do things for the couple, like cooking or laundry, or I know this other one I really, really, really appreciated for my sister-in-law was she offered to do things with JoJo. Like, she offered to take her with her to the park or to the store, to do things with her kids. And that made me so happy, because it gave us time as a couple to process what we were going through, and gave us our alone time without feeling like we had to be really strong for JoJo. And it gave JoJo the time for her to just be a kid and get away from the reality of things that were happening around us. So that helped. Lastly, don't be afraid to bring up the child's name. Nothing makes me happier than when I hear his name. When my husband says his name, when JoJo says his name, when people text me and his name is in the text. It's like the first thing that stands out. Or when people will text me, a couple people have referred to him as Abelito, like just a form of endearment to his name. It's really beautiful to me, because it goes back to why the other comments upset me, is that I don't want my son to be forgotten. I don't want him to be just like he didn't live, he didn't exist. I want him to live forever in our memories, and in other people's memories. And I don't want people to be afraid to bring him up, because really it brings so much peace to my heart to hear people remember him and keep his memory alive. And that's what I want. And it's kind of like back to my mom, like that's what makes me happy, is that my mom's memory has been alive all these years. And that's what I want for my son, is that I want people to forget him, even though he didn't really get a chance to live this life. But yes, don't be afraid to bring up the child's name. Make it a point to want to learn more about the child, because even though they might have not lived, there are some memories that the parents made with that baby. And, don't feel afraid to bring it up, that you're going to hurt their feelings. No, if anything, this is what brings them the most happiness, is to know that other people remember and that other people care. Again, the whole purpose of this video was just to spread more awareness. Our loss is a unique loss. It's still not understood by a lot of people in society. Not a lot of people are fazed by it, but yet so many are. I mean, it's 1 out of 4. But I just want people to be more conscientious of the things they say when it comes to this, because we lost a big thing. We lost a child, a beautiful, beautiful child. And it's a real loss. And it needs to be acknowledged as a real loss. And what I'm going through, what you're going through, or what other people are going through, it's real. And your family and your friends can make it a lot easier if they let themselves acknowledge it. So I guess my whole point is just, I'm trying to spread a little bit more awareness for our babies. And again, if anybody, or if you who's watching this has gone through this, I'm really sorry. And I hope you have better days. And just know that your baby is going to give you the courage to keep going and to face every day. Thank you for watching.